All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State, powered by the New Jersey Lottery. I'm Mike Ham. We are here in Montclair, New Jersey today. We haven't been to Montclair in a while, honestly, but we're here at Dutch's.
Welcome
Dutch's
back.
Sandwich Shop.
Yep.
With
What's
Amir.
going on?
Amir,
How you doing,
welcome to the
guys?
show.
Thank you so much for having me. I
This
appreciate
shirt
it.
keeps floating me into the chips.
I know, right?
Like a little floater. Church Street down here has got to be like one of the cooler streets in the...
Is it the best street in New Jersey?
Honestly, it's up there.
It could be good, right?
It could be really good.
Yeah.
There's so many food spots down here, so many like cool shops, cool things to do. It's a great spot.
It's only food shops down
Yeah,
here.
it's really
right?
yeah. I was looking to see if there's
Who are we
anything
kidding?
else,
It's
but-
anthropology and then 95% food. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's Montclair, baby.
Yeah, which we love, and we live in Bloomfield. Chrissy, my fiance, is from Montclair, so she has known this area for a while.
Yep.
But
I actually remember when she came,
Yeah.
tried us out for the first time, and maybe like two months in or a month in, or I'm not even too
you guys
sure.
were new still then.
Super new. And then, like, it was just a story. It was like, holy shit, like, run to this spot. This
Yeah.
place is legit.
I forget what she brought home, but it was like 3 different sandwiches, and
That's
all
awesome.
of them were just like
Yeah.
so good.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years now. We just celebrated our second.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's I've aged 10, but it's all
it's like
good.
all years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like holy shit. But no, it's honestly, it's been the most amazing experience. In reality, never expected anything like this. Thought we were just opening up a regular sandwich shop. I had no idea what I was doing. I was
Yeah.
a director of food and nutrition. I used to run my father's pizza shops in New York City. And I always wanted to do a sandwich shop, but like later in life when I was like retired and
Sure.
successful.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't think like it'd be any like hard work, but in reality, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. 'Cause this has been like if you're not of like the sane mind and body, and you don't have a good support system, like
you're
don't
screwed.
even think about jumping in this business because
Yeah.
I don't even know what the success rate is. It's not high. You have to really. You have to know what you're doing, but now it's not even about cooking good food, right? It's about like the social media market.
It's everything else
and
beyond
like
that.
it's
Yeah.
like going crazy. You could have like nothing, but something goes viral, and then that's that. But
Yeah.
like some guys putting his blood, sweat, and tears into all his food is that he's made for like 30 years, and then like he closes in a year because he just never got up and running. And it's really. You think you have something in a niche or whatever, and then like 3 months later, you know, somebody down the block is trying to open up and do the same thing. And
Yeah.
so it is what it is. You know, that's life. So here we are.
So there's a lot that I want to talk about there, or there's a lot of the story that I want to tell, but I do, because you just said it, and I just want to kind of continue and pull that thread a little bit.
Yeah.
So 2 years here in Montclair.
Yep.
Montclair is, if not the best food town in the state of New Jersey, it is at least in the top 3,
Yep.
4 maybe. I mean, I can think of like a couple that are like close, but it's
Yeah,
really
no. Montclair's has a bunch of killers in it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's
And so 2 years in this spot.
Yep.
Obviously, like have a little bit of experience, but then also take not just in Montclair, but on Church Street, where
Yeah.
you, like we said, it's 99% restaurants down here. Like what?
I was stupid, right?
What were you thinking?
I was wild, right?
What was going through your head to
so,
make such a
like-
stupid move?
Yeah, basically, right? Like,
Yeah.
So in reality, you know, now I know I can make it anywhere, right?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
like if I can make it in Montclair on the like honestly, Church Street is more of a blessing than anything because it brings so much traffic up and down. Especially on those nice days, you know, there is no better block in New Jersey than Church Street. And at the end of the day, you know, I came from a customer service side, and I believe in giving top-notch customer service to all my customers, and actually like knowing, you know, treating them more than just customers, right?
Yeah.
Having like a relationship with them. I pretty much know almost all my regulars' orders, you know, and I have a lot of regulars. I can just answer the phone sometimes, and I know who it is, what
Yeah.
they want, you know, and that. You know, it's not easy. I mean, I guess it's a skill, but at the end of the day, I put that attention into the detail of my business. Also, the food has to be good, right?
Sure.
Like you can't have, I mean, you could be the nicest guy in the world, but if you serve, something that's not edible, like then at the end of the day.
Or like you were saying before too, like you could have the coolest looking social media content in the world, but if people get here and they're like, wow, this actually sucks.
Yeah.
They're not coming back.
And that's one of the craziest things. We've had people come from this past weekend was like Cherry Hill and Butler, and then like someone who was like, I drove an hour and 20 minutes. I saw the sandwich; it looked absolutely amazing, and it was.
I think I saw the story you posted.
And it was
about
and it's everything I could have imagined, and like somebody posted on. So my man Eric Hammer just came last weekend, which was thank you so much, buddy, a blessing. And someone was like, that following weekend, it was just absolutely insane. And someone wrote, it was actually hilarious. Someone wrote, I was really late to pick up my daughter from school because of these sandwiches or from an event. She was like, but I would do it again. I would leave her in a second because those sandwiches were that good. And, it was obviously joking around, but it's, hilarious because, we try to live up to the hype as well. And, I take it very seriously that every sandwich goes out the same way, whether I make it or someone else makes it. I try to put out, the best possible product all the time. We're human. It happens. Sometimes it can get crazy in here. I'm sure people have seen what a Saturday or Sunday can look like at Dutch's. But all good problems to have. Totally blessed. Love everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you guys.
All right, so let's tell a little bit of your story and kind of, weave the thread about how this whole thing started. So you told me off mic before that you're good. It's live. Yep. No, not live. That you are a New Yorker, right? So from New York?
Yep.
How long were you there? How long you been here in Jersey?
Born and raised my whole life. Lower East Side, Manhattan. Was a son of Xavier. Went to Scranton University.
Sure.
Home of The Office.
So did my dad.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
For sure.
He's a Garnet.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So came back 2007, 2008, graduated into the recession. And, I was out in New York for a while. Was moved to Jersey as I got married with my first wife. And honestly, being in New York City is what made me who I am. It's born and raised in the Lower East Side, Manhattan. Met a lot of cool people. It's really where my love of food kind of came from.
Sure.
Places like Veselka that used to be open, it is open 24/7. Used to go there at like 3, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You have your bodega, joints where you just, go grab a sandwich at 2, 3 in the morning, and Boar's Head always, from New York City and stuff. But kind of took everything that I loved over the years of my life and kind of just always put it together. Always knew I wanted to do something like this, and I always kind of kept like a little notebook. Never knew if it was gonna like ever turn into anything, but always when I had an idea, write it down. The greatest lie you can tell yourself is you're going to remember it in the morning.
You know how many great ideas I've lost?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Write it down.
Yeah, dude, honestly, bust out that phone.
Yeah,
give yourself a quick note nowadays, right? But it's kind of who made me who I am, and I was able to, when I came out to New Jersey, when I got married, had my first child, and that was that. I was never going back.
Yeah.
But,
was it immediately to like this Essex or
actually no. So I lived. I was in Wayne for a bit.
Okay.
Then I went to we moved out to New Providence. I worked at Overlook Medical Center. I was a director of food and nutrition. I was more of a manager of patient services, but at other levels, anyway, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's where I was. I oversaw 500-600 beds, almost 2,000 meals a day. Pretty hectic operation, man.
Yeah.
When the hospital life is not, it's not for the weak. And then obviously, during COVID, it went
forget it
crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of transitioned out of the hospital right before that actually happened. I went into sales, selling kitchen equipment, things of that nature. So I was able to kind of get a a sense of the other side of the industry.
Sure.
But then, you know, COVID. I was a victim of COVID, just like, you know, half of America.
Yep.
And one thing I realized was I wasn't guaranteed to make it to 55 or 60 or whenever I thought I would open up a sandwich shop. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you live this life now. You know, like take the chances that you got to take now. Do what you got to do. You know, live that life. You know, take that vacation, pop that question, do whatever you got to do. But we only get one life, so we decided to rock with it. And when this spot was available, honestly, it like the stars aligned.
Yeah.
Because this place wasn't even put on the market.
Oh yeah.
And I was able to, you know, put an offer in. We ended up getting it, and that was that. I had an idea. You know, Dutch was my dog, so he was my old English bulldog, who was my homie for life.
Sure.
But he passed away about 4 or 5 years ago, and always on the brain, always on the mind. And the first thing that came to my mind when I was like, "What's the name of this place?" and I was just like, "Dutch's Sandwich Shop," and I was like, "Damn,
it's perfect.
It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
It's so good."
Yeah.
And I was up late at night doing the logo, you know, putting that together. I made that myself, you
That's
know,
awesome.
and it was like I loved it because I was like, man, this is like, it's catchy, but it's like simple and it's dope, and so, yeah, that's then Dutch's was born.
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Was Dutch's, because you mentioned the notebook, right? It's like writing ideas down.
Yep.
And I know these said later in life you wanted to do a sandwich shop. So maybe like what was kind of what made you think that you wanted to do something like that? Because I feel like a lot of people have different, like I would love to run a dive bar when I'm old and retired one day. You know what I mean? So like what
got me into it?
Yeah.
So my wife now and I, as we were dating, we'd come to Montclair with my youngest daughter, and I noticed there was like nothing to just kind of grab and go. Like I'm a New Yorker. I would walk downstairs, grab a coffee, grab whatever, bacon, egg, and cheese, and call it a day, and just walk
get moving.
home and keep
Yeah.
it moving, right? But that's not the Montclair life. You know, Montclair is everything sit down. You spend $100. I mean, at a donut shop, you spend $100. You know? And I had young kids at the time, and so like sitting down with young kids is not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, there are no sandwich shops in this area, and you know, we did our homework. We saw that, you know, Belle Giovine's was down the block, and you know, they're awesome. I used to get sandwiches for all the time.
Sure.
Milburn Deli I knew was at the Watchung station, but I also knew that, you know, 4 blocks is pretty far in New Jersey.
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
You know, so
especially in like such a walkable town like Montclair is. You know, like you stay in like your little community.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, and nothing was on Church Street of that nature, and so we just decided to rock with it.
Yeah.
And I ended up stumbling into a market niche that was untapped, the breakfast market. You know, like as far as like gourmet breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
And we were able to like tap into that and take it to the next level. So
yeah, and I'm curious too because like we mentioned before, like taking a risk like that and doing all that kind of stuff, but then also like you know, you do the logo, you have the great name, you have like a hand obviously like in every piece of this business.
Yeah.
Are you like you know, that's not a good example, but like the Dutch Daddy, let's take that because that is probably like
the best,
you know, the bell cow of this place.
Yep.
So was that something that you had like made before that you were just like, hey, this is a sandwich I make at home and I want people to taste it?
The funniest thing about the Dutch Daddy is it was maybe like one of the last sandwiches that I made on that menu. You know, when I'm telling you I wrote sandwiches down, it was all lunch sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like everything was lunch. You know, I never really put that, you know, as you go into your deli or your bagel spot, what do you get? You got a BLT, you got a bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese, or in Jersey, Taylor ham or pork roll.
Sure.
Either or.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Listen,
I have no stake in the game. I'm from New York City. All right. So, but, you know, that's what you get, right? And you don't really question what else you have. And so in reality, you know, I was like, well, if I'm going to be a sandwich shop, I might as well serve breakfast as well.
Yeah.
And so I had those staples on there. But then I was like, you know what would be crazy? Like a chicken cutlet, bacon, egg, and cheese. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, you know, like, that doesn't, I mean, it's so simple, but, like, how many spots can you, like, actually get that at, right?
Sure.
And so threw that on the menu. And then my favorite sandwich ever, like, when I was hungover or whatever, I would always get a hot pastrami, Munster cheese, and eggs with ketchup and mayo. So, like, that was my... So, I've been on the pastrami game for a long time, guys, all right? Like I am the pastrami guy.
Yeah.
But I knew ketchup and mayo is not everybody's jam, right?
Sure.
So that can't be like my signature sandwich. So I decided to do a pastrami, bacon, egg, and cheese. And then playing around with different sauces, you know, making different concoctions. And I came across...
and you were doing this all, like, just at home?
Yeah, just at home.
Yeah.
My wife's sick of me, like...
Sure.
Like,
it's like
try
pastrami
this.
everywhere.
Try this.
Yeah.
Try this.
Yeah.
And then she's like...
Yeah. At a certain point, they all start to taste
I'm
the same.
fucking done. Like, I don't want to try this anymore. And then I remember, like, opening up the shower, like, and, like, try this sandwich.
Yeah,
and she,
yeah.
like, took a bite, and she was like, oh, my God. She was like, wait, come back. And so she took another bite. And in reality, I knew it was a good sandwich, but, like, I didn't know the beast that I had, like, created, right? And we just opened up, and the Dutch Daddy was just, like, maybe the first name that came to my mind, too. Like, I was just like, Dutch, and then just Dutch Daddy. I have no idea how it came to mind, but it did. And I had the you know, we may still do it, so don't take my idea. But I wanted to be catchy, right? And I'm not gonna lie, like, I give props to everybody. So, like, the original Milburn Deli, like, I used to work in Summit. I'd always go to Milburn Deli.
Sure.
And you know, somebody gets the gobbler, bing a ling a ling a ling. You know, everybody goes gobble 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 gobble. You know, catchy. People remember.
Yeah.
You know, all that good stuff. I wanted also to have something like that. So I wanted, anytime somebody ordered the Dutch Daddy, I had a gong here, but somebody lost the palette or whatever it is. And,
the thing you hit the gong with. Yeah.
And I had a button that played Arnold Schwarzenegger from Kindergarten Cop, and it was like, who is your daddy and what does he do? And so that was like the whole thing. Like, somebody orders a Dutch Daddy, gong, who is he that, you know? It just... I have a lot of crazy ideas that just don't make it to the final stage and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but we may still do it. Who knows? We'll never know. But and at the end of the day, people would call me and they'd be like, "Can I speak to the manager?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
do we have one of those?
Speaking.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, I just had this Dutch Daddy sandwich, and it was the craziest fucking thing I've ever had in my life. Like, this sandwich should be illegal." I remember somebody was and like. You never get that, right? Like, being in the hospitality industry, like, you get a call when you screw up, right? When, when something's gone wrong, yada yada.
Nobody wants to speak to the manager.
Yo, can I speak to the manager? Yo, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. Like, it just doesn't work out like that. And so, like, when people were saying these things, I was just like, okay. I was like, I think I got something here. Yeah. And then, like, people would leave reviews like I used to go to Egg Slut, thought that was the best sandwich. Now I had the Dutch Daddy, that's the best sandwich. And I was like, damn, like, Egg Slut's really good, man. Yeah. Like, you know, like damn, like, people are putting me up there. And so then people were like, yeah, it's the best breakfast sandwich in New Jersey. So, like, I just was like, fuck it, man, let's run with it. And so I threw it on a sign, threw it outside, and you know, that's on you. You come try it, man. If you think it is the best, you know, put it in a Yelp
hit
review.
The gong.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
But you know, we got really lucky. I remember, like, when we first opened, like, some local influencers kind of came by and they were like, hey, you know, content for food. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. You know, any word of mouth or content is better than, like, no content, right? Yeah. So I was just like, fuck it, like, screw it, like, let's do it. And then they'd put it out there and, like, other people would see it and they're like, let's do something. And so then, like, we started getting some momentum. And then, you know, my girl Jen, Jersey Girl Travels, shout out Jen. She's like the first one who kind of like put us out on the map. I mean, I reached out to a lot of people, like, because then I kind of realized the game, right? Like, I was like, all right, like,
you got to play it.
You know, this is, it's beneficial. And Jen was like, oh, I would love to come out. And when she came out, you know, she brought her friend and we did a video, and like she, you know, loved the food. And she was like, I would love to make a sandwich with you. And I was like, yeah, let's do it for sure. And like the Jersey Girl came about, which was like such a dope sandwich. Till this day, people love this sandwich. It's a chicken cutlet, sriracha, bacon, fresh mozzarella, lettuce, tomato, Mike's Hot Honey, sriracha mayo. So, you know, it's a really good sandwich. And at the end of the day, like, Jen, when we released it, like September, October, it's still going strong. Like 8 months later, she just posted something. So
that's cool.
And she, you know, once she kind of came about, like some other people kind of, you know, came, and then, you know, I've paid a handful of people, possibly, you know, but it's because I've wanted them to come out, and like they're like, you know, they play the game well too. They're like, you know, you're on the list, but like we're busy, and you're just like,
we'll get to you when we get to you.
And then it's like, all right, what about this? And you're like, all right, I'll see you next Tuesday. It's like, so,
because you do like, speaking of like the sandwiches named after people, like you do that like a pretty good amount, right? You know, maybe not like a lot, but just like there are several that are named after people. Yeah,
my man Joey Eats, we're about to launch another one in the next few days.
Yeah.
I have the Czar with Heidi Blue. Like, that's a dope sandwich as well. The number one sandwich is my man Sean's Hungry Chicken Cutlet King. The Flying Dutchman is just crazy good. Like, I didn't even like. I'm not a pepper guy. I don't like banana peppers. But on this sandwich, like grilled banana peppers with the hot pastrami and the pepper jack cheese with the cutlets, it's just crazy. It's so good. Like, it's so good. Eric Hammer said it was better than the Dutch Daddy, which is crazy. It's a crazy statement, but it's you know,
question his you know, his taste.
It's all I don't question his taste. Right, his dude's he's legit. But you know, to each his own. But at the end of the day, that chicken cutlet with the pastrami, it's just it's killer. So I think we have a 100% success rate with that sandwich. So
which is great.
It's dope.
Yeah. And so, like, when we're talking about, like, chicken cutlets, pastrami, like, all that kind of stuff, talk to me about, like, you know, what separates yours from maybe others that are doing the stuff?
I mean, everybody, a chicken cutlet's a chicken cutlet, I guess. Ours are never frozen. We literally, every day, we make fresh chicken cutlets in-house every day, you know, just the way my parents used to make them. You know, I use Boar's Head products. I try to use the best of the best bread. I like to pair a good sandwich with a good sauce. You know, it's just what we do. I love a good movie pun. I like a good, you know, song quote. You know, all that good stuff. You know, I got the Rick and Mortadella. Obviously, you know, play off of Rick and Morty. We have so many fun things. There's little hidden treasures in that menu that you kind of like see. Like, you look at my Titanic. I got an email one night, like at 1:30 in the morning. Some lady was like, I was just going through your menu and I saw your Titanic and I absolutely love it because it's like a pepper jack cheese, iceberg lettuce. It used to be on a rosemary focaccia, but we ended up we switched it out. But like, it's just like little things like that that, like, you know, if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, it is what it is. But we like to have fun here. We like to stretch the boundaries of creativity. We're going to be here for a long time, guys. I promise you that. So.
Yeah. Can we talk about, and you did mention it a little bit, kind of like getting like on the map or whatever, like, you know, when you said, that's what you said, like, we got something here, you know, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Was there like a day, like when you first opened, like how was like the opening, and then maybe was there a day where you were like, oh shit, there's a line down the street, you know, for this stuff?
So I've never had the line down the street just yet. I have actually when Mav's Top Buns came. So the line was literally down the block. It was absolutely insane. It was like one of the dopest collabs we've done for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. But we have had like a packed house in here. You know, at first we used to have like arcade games in here, so like people could like play arcades while they were like waiting for the sandwiches. But we tried to make the front of the house like as, you know, useful to like to us as possible. But it could get insane in here at times, and there have been times where I've seen people like looking and they're like, yeah, not today. And they walk out.
Yeah.
And
the blessing and the curse of being on Church Street, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of crazy, man. Like I have an idea sometimes, and like my ADHD just like I focus, like I'm like so like lasered in, and even right now, like I'm looking at something that like maybe 9 out of 10 people are telling me that I'm crazy for, and I'm still like,
but maybe,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so like, did I know this was a huge risk? Like 100%, but I also like knew my abilities and my capabilities, and you know, my creativity. Like I don't know if you saw my last video that just came out.
Remind me.
We
have like I run like 8 different Instagram accounts.
So we just dropped a dope video with my marketing guys. Shout out to Ethereal, super dope guys. We took the TV off from Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
we
yeah,
put it
yeah.
to the pastrami umami sandwich.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, just put that out there, and like I think it's amazing. But we're you know, boosting that now to try to like get more customers and more people, and you know, we're trying to change what a normal like ad would be, I guess, for like a deli shop, right? You don't really see that from like normal spots and stuff. And so I could like do the whole like, hey, this is how we make the sandwich stuff, but like
sure,
that's cool.
It's been done.
Yeah, you know, like we're trying to like change the game as far as like, you know, I just told you we have a sneak peek drop possibly with the Pascalero Bros, you know, doing some dope things together, and I have a lot of other like skits, you know, and things like that. The brain just keeps going, and you know, hopefully these guys are going to be able to like capture like what we're looking to do. But I have actually no doubt that they are going to, because that video is so dope. If you haven't seen that video, go to Dutch's Montclair, check out that video. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it's all still a learning curve. To be honest, man, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like
I don't think anybody really does. You know?
I know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
I know how to, you know, give out great customer service. I know how to run a team. But like doing it all yourself on your dime, on your everything, is a whole nother level of stress.
Yeah.
A whole nother level of like I pay 6-7 employees, right? Like I've you know, like it's crazy to think that like our business can like, you know, give, you know, life to other people and stuff, you know, which is dope, you know, and so you know, we only hope to grow and get you know, we're looking at a second location, you know, hopefully in the next coming year, and we'll see where it goes, man. But to the moon is what I say, man.
Sure.
The Mayo Performing Arts Center is the heart of arts and entertainment in Morristown, New Jersey. MPAC presents over 200 events annually and is home to an innovative children's arts education program. To see MPAC's upcoming schedule of world-class concerts, stand-up comedy, family shows, and more, head to mayoarts.org or just click the link in our show notes.
So, there's a couple of things you said in there too, and you give great answers because you give me like a lot of ways to kind of take the conversation, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned like the staff, and I'm curious too. Like you also mentioned, you know, making your wife like eat every single sandwich and try every single thing.
Yep.
So obviously, like to take a risk like this to kind of, you know, leave the comfort and safety of like a full-time whatever job.
You gotta have the support, man.
Yeah, you have to have the support. 100%. Like, and especially at the very beginning to make that jump, because 100%. It is scary to just jump off the cliff into the unknown, because you really don't know. You could be as confident as you are for anything really. Like,
100%.
but to then get into it, whether you're like, for me was kind of, it just was like serendipitously kind of, it just happened. And next thing you know, I'm on my own, and then you make this conscious decision to actually go for it. So like, can we talk a little bit about the support system going into that decision and then early on, and then also now being 2 years in, and you said paying 6-7 employees and the staff that kind of helps make this run smoothly on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. So yeah, man, you got to have the supports. Like, my wife has been my biggest fan since day one. She was, with me by my side, and you got to have that, right? You can't. There's no, honestly, without her, this business would not run at all. Because like, there's so much that I do, and there's so much I don't do, right? And whatever's not done by me is done by her. And that's like the important shit, like making sure rent's due and making sure like people are paid on time and fixing any issues, the business end, right? And at the end of the day, I don't tell you enough, but thank you, I appreciate you. You're the best. But my wife and I own a multifamily, which was able to give us some leeway. As far as taking a chance like this.
Sure.
We were looking to buy a house with the money that we were put into this, but at that time, you can only imagine. You remember the market. It's still crazy right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like it hasn't come down. The time where everything was like the perfect time to buy a house. My wife and I were like 2 months like into meeting each other.
Yeah.
So it was like buying a house at that point in time was just like not like,
it's a little aggressive.
Yeah, a little crazy, right? So we didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I could just remember like talking to her and just being like, this is an opportunity, this is an idea. It was actually, to even elaborate a little further.
Sure.
The time I got this place, the word recession was being thrown around like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so like
you got this place
late 2022.
Okay.
So we opened up February 23. The word recession was like being thrown out there all the time, and I was like, shit. Like the worst thing. Like I was looking at laundromats. Like I wasn't looking at food. But I actually told my wife, I was like, food is the stupidest thing you could do right now. And so like a month later, she was like, wait, what happened to like food is the dumbest thing you could do right now? I was like,
but it's me doing it.
They don't have.
Yeah.
And I really banked on like not being like a sandwich shop really in the heart of like downtown Montclair.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Belgievines, which is great and stuff, but that's up the block by Whole Foods, and then what about the like lower part, right? Like there's really nothing. And from what I've heard, there used to be like Watchung Deli or like there used to be like
Chris used to live in Watchung Plaza, so like right across was Watchung Deli.
Yeah, no, I heard it was a staple, all that great stuff. But I saw a need for something, and so we took that chance, and it's paid out tremendously for sure.
And then with the staff now, because obviously once you get started,
it's the worst part of the industry, man. It's by far the worst part of the industry. Like I won't elaborate, but you like do your homework, like look into everybody, make sure you find good staff, and because it really is what makes or breaks a business. Like you, I won't say the name, but there's a gentleman who had 2 spots, and he has a restaurant now. Makes the best, desserts and stuff. And he was like, man, I closed that other location. He's like, I would have kept it open, but I couldn't physically. Like, staffing was just impossible. Like, especially after COVID.
Sure.
Everybody was getting checks. People were like, what's work?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I want to stay home.
Yeah, let's, I got $1,400 a month. Yeah. So, literally the worst part of the industry. Like, now you're paying kids that are new to work $15 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like some of these kids don't know how to do a lot of different things, and that's saying it nicely.
Yeah, they don't know how to do anything. Really, is what it comes down to.
They look at me like, and I'm like, man, if I have to like tell you everything to do right now,
breathe
like,
now.
Why are like, and it's frustrating because, I gotta pay. I got to sell X amount of sandwiches to pay for all these employees, and if I don't, then, it's a problem. And so, but with that also being said, like, I love to be a teacher as well, right? And so, like, I got some great young kids that I love to, like, teach as well, right?
Sure.
And, you know, I understand, like, I'm born and raised, like, 80s, you know, New York City. Like, I'm cut from old cloth. Like, it wasn't easy, you know what I mean? Like, you were told what to do, like, how to do things, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, there wasn't this, like, nurturing, like, oh, this is how you know, and that's just not me.
You're doing great, even though it's
yeah,
wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look at you like, what's going on, buddy? Like, like, what are we doing here? You know, and like, some people can like think that's aggressive or whatever, but at the end of the day, if I don't see value in you, like that you are like somebody that's worth coaching and teaching and growing, you know, I got a lot of great kids, and you know, that I don't ever try to like bring anybody down, but at the end of the day, I always try to also like tell them like, great job, man. You guys, you know, we were in a little bit of a rut, you know, and we regrouped and we actually like powered through strong.
Yeah.
Awesome job, guys.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so like, it's important to criticize when needed, but it's also important to, you know, give praise out, you know, to everybody, all your staff.
Yeah.
So,
well, because it's important, because at the end of the day, like, you physically cannot make every sandwich that comes out of Dutch's.
I've tried.
It's impossible. Like, on a busy, like, you know, even on maybe like a somewhat slower day for you, it's still impossible.
It's crazy.
You know,
I've done like, let people go at 4:00 and I'm here by myself, like from 4 to 5. Yeah. And then like 8 people come in and I'm like running back and forth, like, hey. And the phone rings and and it's a lot. And we're looking at ways to centralize, make order experiences better. There were things I got locked into in the beginning that are like ending. And so we're looking to like better systems, better things, better whatever. And because to me, like, I get it, man. I've been in Starbucks waiting like way too long for my coffee, and I'm just like, where's my coffee?
Yeah,
like,
it's a black coffee. Like,
why is this taking like 45 minutes? Like, so like I understand that aspect as well. Like, you know, that your food's amazing, but I also don't want to wait 4 hours for something. Like, I don't care how amazing it is, right?
Yeah.
And so like I put myself into those shoes, and I can sense when it's too long, right?
Sure.
And like, I put that curtain up because I used to be, I felt the laser beams hit my cheek from like from the windows. They're just like looking at it like, where's my sandwich? You know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we usually like try to like 5, 10, 15 minutes at most. We do say like 25, 30, like at extreme times. There's been times where I've been hit with like 4 8 sandwich orders like all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like shit, like, you know. And then
How's
there's
that-
like,
how do we do
then
that?
there's like, right after that, it's like 4 single sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, well, I need one person to just work on single sandwiches because those people can't wait until all these other sandwiches are done, right?
The other people should know that their large orders should take a little bit longer.
But like,
you
people
know?
don't care.
No,
like,
they don't give a shit.
They don't give 2 shits. Like, people are like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it's the best. So like my old system used to say like people order 15 items and then like it would automatically be like, oh, it'll be ready in 15 minutes. And so like, cause like, it's one item, right?
Yeah.
And so then like we're getting hit on a Saturday or Sunday and this big order comes in and we haven't even looked at it yet. And the person's like, I'm here for Michelle. And it's like, Michelle's like 10 things. And you're like, fuck. And you're like, all right, Michelle, like give us like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And, it's like, Michelle's like, you said 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And like,
come on, Michelle.
Michelle,
Get real.
This isn't really a Michelle, it's made up.
Yeah,
Anyway, long story short, it's those are things that we work on, and we at the end of the day, I'm always on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, guys, crazy day today. If anybody had a bad experience, please reach out to me. I'll make right. And I have made right. You know, at the end of the day, like, I get it. But then there's times where people are like, yo, I don't give a shit. That sandwich was so fire. Like, I'll wait again. Like, I get it. And there's certain
I'll leave my daughter at school.
Yeah. There's people that are like, yo, I get it. Don't worry. Like, it's okay. But then, I don't know, just me always wanting to provide, like, the best service and quality, I'm always like, you sure? Like,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Because you want that person, like, you know, if they're not, if like it's short on time, they need something like really fast.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to like, you know, a 20-minute sandwich from one place or a 30-minute sandwich from a maybe better place, you know, maybe it affects their decision a little bit.
Well,
you know,
everybody lives that like fine line, right? So like,
time is money.
Yeah,
like, you gotta get moving. You know,
I gotta be here at 3, so I'm gonna get my sandwich at 3:10, and then it's gonna take me 40 minutes to get there, and so like, shit, it's 3:20. Like I was supposed to be out of here, you know. So people, you know, I get it. Listen, I'm from New York City. That's how I live my life, right?
Yeah.
Like so, like blaming the MTA, like God damn it, like you're supposed to be here at, you know. But you know, like I said, we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
And you know, it really like we've been truly blessed by the community. Like I joke and I say like I'm more famous outside of Montclair than inside Montclair, which just has some truth to it. But like the OG Montclairians, like that have been with me from the beginning, like you guys are the best. You know, it's truly been. When I was at the hospital, I started from the bottom up, and I always said like I used to wear suits, I was clean shaven. Blah, blah, blah. My favorite time was when I was on the grill, making sandwiches, making pancakes for guys, cooking eggs for guys, just like shooting the shit with people, the camaraderie. You know, that was my favorite part of by far everything, because it made time go by so fast. You know what I mean? Like you get to know people, you have develop relationships with people.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's just been you know, the journey of Dutch's.
Yeah.
You know, we're on year 2. We're here for another few more years. God willing, God bless, and you know, I'm only going to be pumping out more sandwiches every month. Like my staff hates me because all I do is just give them more sandwiches and more sandwiches.
Yeah.
And sometimes I even forget to tell them what the sandwich is.
Sure.
And they're like, yo, what's the sandwich?
Yeah.
And it's like, I came up with it last night, 12:30 at night. Don't you know this?
Right? Yeah. The other thing that I do want to talk about before we kind of get, because we are getting close to the end of this episode, but I do want to address this one, is I think it's really cool too, because you see it with some businesses, and a lot of times it's businesses that I do like, but businesses collabing with other businesses. Like you mentioned Pasquarella Brothers. Like obviously Pasquarella Brothers in essence are like a direct competitor of you, but
not really.
But yeah, exactly.
A few towns over. Like,
yeah,
it is
like it's not, there's really...
Yo, honest to God, like my goal is to go to like every single dope sandwich spot and like collab with every single one of them, or like rock whatever. Like when I was in the restaurant equipment industry, I learned that there was like enough food on the table for everybody. Sorry. I knew that was going to happen like right at the end.
Sorry, if I didn't realize if I picked it up, it would answer.
If you pick it up, it just answers.
That's my bad.
English Town, whoever that was, I'm so sorry about that.
We're closed, though, so
my
deal
bad.
with it. Call back tomorrow.
Probably going to call back in 2 seconds again. Anyway, so what I had learned that there was enough food at the table for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Dutch's Sandwich Shop, how may I help you? How are you? Oh, hey, how are you? Right now is not a good time. I'm actually doing a podcast, and I'm actually closed for the day. But let me give you a call back tomorrow, Hazel, all right? All right, thank you. Bye. We're going to edit that right out. Right?
Yeah, that's an easy clip.
Anyway, actually, that's probably the best one. It's going to make its way on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I had learned, let's try this again. So I had learned from that industry that there was like enough room at the table for like, so basically I was a manufacturer rep. We rep Middleby lines. And for those who don't know, Middleby is like one of the biggest in the of food equipment, right?
Yeah,
they own Baker's Pride and Blodgett and South Bend, and I mean all the kings of the industry. And so, but there's other manufacturer reps, right? And we all go to these conferences together, and we're all friends. But then we're all vying for the same business from the same hospitals, from the same healthcare,
Yeah.
But then you realize like there's so much business out there. Like, so many people are, and that's the same with food, man. Like if you think that I expect you to come to Dutch's every single day and have food at Dutch's every single day, like, it's like, I don't do that. So why would I expect anybody else to do it, right? And so, like, if I can promote my friends in the industry, like, while also promoting myself, it's a win-win. Like, with Mav's Top Buns, like, we just spoke to each other, like, for 2 seconds, and she was like, "Oh, let's collab," and I was like, "Let's do it." And then I was, and it was like the biggest, day for Dutch's, at least. Mavs is like awesome and stuff, but like, it was a dope collab, and like, that day was pure chaoticness. Like, maybe over 100+ boxes, like 200. I have no idea, but like, there were boxes of buns just all over like this back area, and like the Montclair community came out and showed like a lot of love, right?
Yeah.
And so like, that's, we made that happen, right? And so like, that's, to me, that's so dope. We have collabs in the works with like, like other businesses around New Jersey. We don't want to like say it yet.
Don't want to spill the tea.
We have some pretty cool things going on with people outside of Montclair as well. Like, so at the end of the day, it's cool to be in this together, right? Like, I'm able to go and shoot the shit with these guys and to really pick their brains about things and to learn about X, Y, and Z. And to me, it's the only way to go. Like, I don't know how you could be like a miserable guy who only wants like people to come to your business. And stuff
the
like
zero-sum game. Like, if they don't buy from me, they're buying from somebody else,
everybody,
and I lose money.
Like, no shot.
Because you do get that,
Oh, there's people out there for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, but like, how miserable do you have to be to like want to live
miserable.
that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to be like that? And so like, some of my closest friends, like now, like dude from Salt Pepper Ketchup, Ray, dope guy, other sandwich shops, around, like, we may do Salt Pepper Ketchup, specialized chopped cheese. We may do a chopped cheese off, right? And like do an event. And at the end of the day, if we can, promote his business and he can promote my business and his product and my product, it's a win-win. And
totally.
It doesn't really matter, who is the best. I could care less. Same with the, Team Taylor Ham, Egg, and Cheese. Like, there's a belt back there. It says, like, we're the king of breakfast sandwiches. But at the end of the day, I'm just joking around. Like, I put out a pretty mean product, but, like, I could care less if I'm number 1 or 2 or 3. It is what it is. Just come here and buy our stuff. That's the end of it. You know
Love
what I
it.
mean? Like, that's really what it's about. And try us out for yourselves. And if you love it, leave us a good review. Don't forget to leave reviews. Reviews are the most important
Reviews
thing
are
out there.
important. Yep. Okay. Last question before we get into like socials and where people can go find the stuff and all that. Do you have a projected Yankee win total for the year? Because we're recording this. What's opening day is tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And so this will come out not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. So you will have. There will be like some games played. Not a lot of games, but some. Like how maybe like we won't give you an exact number because we won't have
I'm
to
gonna
do
go.
a cold hard
So
take.
I don't think it's gonna be a good year. We lost Garrett Cole,
and Luis Hill for a while, and Juan Soto. For,
Juan Soto's gone now. At the end of the day, this is a Yankee jersey. I know I'm faking everybody out, but it's All-Star game, Mariano Rivera. So Yankees all the way. I'm going to say we're going to be in the 60s this year.
60s?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that
Is
great
it
of a year.
that bad?
Because I could see Carlos Rodon possibly going down.
He stinks anyways. So it doesn't matter.
And then after that, what do we got? Like Stroman and like...
Well, you got Fried, but Fried is also...
I don't think he's somebody we can like...
Oh, I'm a big Max Fried fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's
watching him pitch in Atlanta, like he
definitely took it to the next level over the last 2 years.
Like, listen, is he Garrett Cole? No.
Yeah.
But I think that he is like exactly what you need as like
the
a number
old
2.
Mike Messina type
Well,
guy.
he's like I think this is going to be an interesting comparison. Like Andy Pettit at the beginning of his career,
Okay.
like was obviously great. I'm not saying he's Andy Pettitte, like prime Andy Pettitte, but he's like, as Andy Pettitte started kind of like tail off a little bit, maybe not as good.
But you remember like that
still,
Moose,
like,
those Moose days where like Moose was like that like number 2 or 3, and he was just like a horse all the time.
Yeah,
and shit.
a beast.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's kind of in that realm. Like he's a bulldog. Like he just he pitches his ass off.
I think Stanton is. On
he's
his
out
way
too.
Out, do we get that production from Jason Dominguez?
He can't play the outfield. That's a problem.
The Martian.
Yeah.
Do we have? I mean, so many question marks. I don't see it this year. I think we are.
I think they win 80. I think they are at least 500 with their eyes closed.
Okay.
Regardless, because I just don't think the AL is as good as it was in the past. Like Boston's gotten better for sure.
It could be Aaron Boone's.
You think so?
It could be.
I don't think. I feel like
if they go as bad as I possibly say they do,
if they do that bad, then forget
sure.
it. You can't have all those high paid guys and win 60 something games.
But in reality, you have no idea because like the Rangers were supposed to be like Stanley Cup, contender this year.
Well, they're always a Stanley Cup contender, and they choke it out.
But now they're not. They can't even make the playoffs. So it's just like
go Devils, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we'll make sure we clip that too, and we'll play that at the end of the season and see how close we were.
We're gonna go to a game together.
We're gonna
go to the
we
next
range.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Where can people go to learn more? Where would you want them to go to learn more about Dutch's?
Dutch's Montclair, everything. Instagram, TikTok, www.dutchesmontclair.com. We are shouting out a new podcast that we're about to launch, Dab Dads. Me, Dan from the Quarry Grill. It's going to be pretty insane. First episode drops next week. That's a shameless plug on our end.
We love shameless plugs here.
But this has been honestly a long time coming. Truly appreciate. That was my poor attempt at the.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's okay, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least it's the colors. Yeah. The colors are right. I mean, I didn't wear any of my own colors, but what are you gonna do?
I didn't wear my merchandise either, so I was like, I
got the hat, but I got the black and white radio hat.
Yeah, so, but man.
Yeah,
dude, that's where you can find us. If you ever order through our website, it helps the business out the best. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, truly been blessed with this opportunity that God has given me, and we're looking to, take it to the moon, like we said.
Awesome. Love it. We'll make sure to put all the show notes, or in the show notes, put all the links that Amir just said. Thank you for having me out and for taking some time after you guys are closed to record this.
Man. I appreciate
this has been great. A long time coming, I feel like, because we've been talking about it for forever. But I'm actually the worst. Like we were talking about it before we got started. Like just like leaving emails on red or being like, I'll get back to that guy.
We're busy. At the end of the day,
we're businessmen. We got shit we got to do.
Busy. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, we're men of business. Yes.
Wear the business socks. You know what I'm saying?
So put links in the show notes. Thank you everybody for listening. Again, this was the Greetings from the Garden State podcast powered by the New Jersey Lottery. We were at Dutch's in Montclair. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. Take care, guys.